Chapter 161. Bizarre 2. Xu Qing didn't believe the old man's words about selling it to the first peak. However, the feeling earlier was very real. Xu Qing felt that it wasn't worth it to take the risk to kill him. He had a vigilant personality and decided not to make a move. He was going to observe this place for some time. He glanced at the old man and restrained his killing intent as he calmly spoke. "Give me the spirit stones." Sensing that Xu Qing's killing intent had disappeared, the old man quickly took out 3 spirit tickets from his pocket. They were worth a total of 3,000 spirit stones. He threw these 3 spirit tickets to Xu Qing. Xu Qing caught them and checked them. After that, he cut off the heads of the wanted criminals' corpses and left with them. From the start to the end, he only said 2 sentences. At that moment, as it watched Xu Qing's departing figure, the large snake hurriedly stuck its head out and began to gurgle like it was calling him. Its voice seemed to contain a hint of joy. Xu Qing slowly walked away without looking back. "Stop calling, you white-eyed snake. Our spirit stones are all gone, but not only do you not feel heartache, you're even siding with him. He really wanted to kill me just now," and the inn almost woke up. The old man was filled with grief and indignation as he hurriedly took out an antidote and ate it. "Gurgle. You are actually saying that I deserved it." When the old man heard this, he became even more indignant. He flicked his sleeve and sat there smoking his pipe fiercely. Inwardly, he was a little shocked by the killing intent he had sensed earlier. The murderous aura on this kid's body has become even stronger. I wonder what happened on the Sea Lizard Island. I have to ask around. Xu Qing moved forward silently. The scene at the inn earlier appeared in his mind. The strangeness of this world made him unable to confirm if what the other party said was true or false. However, the danger emitted by the inn felt very real. After walking far away, Xu Qing looked back at Penguin Road. After a while, he retracted his gaze and completely restrained his killing intent. Because the magic boat hadn't finished refining yet, Xu Qing decided to go to the homicide department. He wanted to cancel his leave and planned to stay for the night. In the homicide department, Xu Qing saw his captain who had just finished his work and was about to leave. The captain was walking out while eating an apple. When he saw Xu Qing and the 3 heads in his hand, he narrowed his eyes and smiled before tossing an apple over. "You're so hardworking. You went to capture someone as soon as you returned. Didn't you gain much from this trip?" Xu Qing caught the apple and took out a spirit ticket worth 100 spirit stones before passing it over. "The harvest was not bad. I heard that there's an island near the Western Reef Archipelago where many people die. You didn't go there, right?" The captain received the spirit ticket happily. He squatted on a stone chair at the side and asked with interest. Xu Qing glanced at the captain and shook his head. The captain continued to eat his apple and smiled. He didn't continue the topic but started speaking in a deliberately mystifying way. "Let me tell you something earth-shattering. After you left, a major case happened here and it caused a heated discussion among many disciples in the city. It was a really tragic death." The captain then looked at Xu Qing as though he was waiting for Xu Qing to ask. Xu Qing also looked at the captain but didn't speak. After a long time, the captain sighed. "Xu Qing, when others speak to you in such a tone, you have to show some curiosity. This way, others won't feel awkward and can continue. This is politeness." Xu Qing fell into deep thought and curiosity appeared on his face. Only then did the captain feel comfortable. After looking around, he whispered. "The captain of Team 3 of the Earth Division, that fish, was killed by someone. The homicide department investigated this matter, but the guy is from a non-human race, so there was only a superficial investigation. But the other party still has DA protectors, especially his 2 sisters. They're searching for the murderer everywhere like crazy. This world is too chaotic. How could the young master of our ally die just like that? This is a big deal, right? Let's not talk about it anymore. I'm going on night patrol." The captain stood up and patted his clothes before walking away. However, when he walked past Xu Qing, he spoke softly. "The merfolk race and the 7 blood eyes are allies, so we are letting them search. I heard that the merfolk race has a spell that can allow the 2 sisters to sense the tracks of the murderer. They have been searching for more than a month and have investigated everyone who has anything to do with that fish. They should be able to find the murderer soon. Everyone is watching. This matter is quite interesting." The captain glanced at Xu Qing with a spurious smile and didn't say anything else before leaving the homicide department. Xu Qing stood on the spot and pondered. A long time later, a cold glint flashed in his eyes. He turned around and handed over the heads of the 3 wanted criminals to exchange for rewards. He then meditated in the homicide department for the night. The next morning, Xu Qing left the homicide department and walked on the streets as usual. When he passed by a candied fruit stall, he bought a stick and took a few bites. He then walked into an alley and stopped in his tracks. Very soon, a woman quickly walked over from behind him and knelt down behind Xu Qing. "Master." This woman had a graceful figure and looked very seductive. She was his informant back then. Later on, Xu Qing didn't need any more information, so he didn't summon her. "Has anything major happened recently?" Xu Qing turned and calmly looked at the woman in front of him. Looking at Xu Qing's candied fruits, the woman's heart trembled. However, very soon, her gaze became fanatical again. Recently, there have been 2 things that everyone has been discussing the most. One is that the once in 30 years competition between the 7th Peaks disciples is approaching. Every time the 7th Peaks competition is held, there will be a storm of blood. It's said that the location that was chosen last time was the Merfolk race's island. Their island was covered in blood and later on, they became the 7 Blood Eyes Ally.